Hello, hello. Happy Sunday.
Hello, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday shift, y'all. I feel very discombobulated today, but I am here, excited, ready to talk about GH. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're on YouTube, you can hype us. I'm not really clear what that means, but it is an option. So we'll take it. Hype us if you're on YouTube. Um, and you can always buy merch or buy us a coffee. Those links are in the description. Want to shout out to Jen who bought us the coffee and left us a really nice message. Also left a message for Tara from Port Misery within that, and I did share it with her. Um, and just like appreciate people who are like rocking with us, have been rocking with us from the beginning, and come every week to have somewhat of a chat with us about the show. Um, yeah, there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world, obviously. And so being able to talk about GH is something that has been consistent for me and got my mind off of how wild things are. So, anyway, Tanya, how are you?
I'm doing okay. It's been just an okay week. I had my last driving lesson yesterday and I went on the
Yes.
freeway.
How'd it go?
Oh, it was intimidating at first. My driver instructor, even though he's very helpful and very good, he kept talking to me and I wanted him to be quiet so I could
All right.
focus. So but I didn't say anything. So I'm excited. My test is next week. Hopefully cross fingers, it all goes well and I'll be an official driver. I still won't have a car, but whatever.
I live that same life. I am also an official driver, and I also do not have a car. And I like it. I'm in Milwaukee right now. My mom's always like, "Do you want to take my car?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna call the Uber." I like it because I don't have to
Uh-huh.
worry about where to park. I could just chill.
Yeah.
So,
What about gas and all
yeah.
that? So
Exactly. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to have this like milestone and you'll do great
yeah,
on your driver's test.
thank you.
I was in Minneapolis, home of Prince, last week. Um, and yeah, I just always forget how hard it is to like settle into watching GH when I am on the road,
Mhm.
because it's like always something to do. Um, and I'm in Milwaukee now. I'm going to see Brandy and Monica on Friday. And then I'll be
Oh,
back in Oakland for at least a month. So it'll be good to settle back into my routine. Um, yeah. So next time we record, I will be telling you how the Brandy and Monica show went.
okay. All
Um, but
right.
yeah, and also Minneapolis, the food was not giving what it needed to give.
Uh-oh.
It was not like I ordered something. It was so bland. I was like, did I mess this up? I was like, I forgot about the Midwest food. I'm from the Midwest, but Minnesota, y'all was doing it not big. Um, but that's really the week, the travel of it all. I have all my favorite
Oh
Beyonce
yeah.
shirts.
It was Taco Tuesday last Tuesday. National
What's
Taco Tuesday, I guess. Did you have a
oh
taco?
no. I didn't even know that was a thing. That was not aware. It's like
Well,
it's like, isn't that every Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday is every talk is Tuesday, but my coworker was like, "It's National Taco Day." I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like,
I
"I'm gonna
missed
get you a
that.
taco." So,
And since you were in
from ta
Oakland, it probably was delicious.
yeah, got it from Taco Truck.
Exactly. Exactly. Well,
So,
let's hop into the week because we clearly didn't have much this week. We're like Minneapolis food taco truck. Um, who is your or are your performers of the week?
giving it up to Jane Elliott again.
Always.
Her, just this week having to warn Monica and then having to deal with the idea that Monica didn't really respect her in the will and
Yeah.
just was hurt. getting some pickle Lila relish, which was like a real throwback and actually made me laugh. But
I laughed. I
still,
did laugh.
Tracy was hurt. And, having to deal with her role in Monica's life being usurped by the waitress. It's just, it's comedy. It's, makes you feel. So Jane Elliott always top notch. So I had to give it to
Yes,
her, this
absolutely.
week.
Another performance. Okay, I hate the storyline for sure, but
Hmm.
Eden McCoy this week as Jocelyn cracked me up because it was like the acting within the acting.
Uh-huh.
I'm not, we'll talk about the story, but her being like, oh my God, it was like I cracked up. Or, oh my God, Mom, I found out Vaughn's in the WSB. Just it it was it was really funny to me. Again, we'll talk about the stories, but I love Eden. I think Eden is so talented. And I think that this just like really gave her the opportunity to play her kind of like comedy chops. And so I just have to like shout that out because I was like, this is actually tough to do. And she was like really killing it because it was also just sarcastic enough or just not good enough, if you will, to like give the audience the wink and nod. But like that's really hard to do. And so I enjoyed it despite, how I feel about the story. I love that I have to tell y'all 15 times, despite how I feel about the story.
I don't like the story,
Like
but she's
Eden
good.
is always going
Yeah.
to be top notch to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, ready to hop into the week of GH. Let's start with Monica's will reading. So everybody gathers at the house. Ronnie shows up. Nobody knows her. Everybody's like,
Hmm.
who you? And there was like
Right.
a little bit of sarcasticness at the beginning, but eventually everybody just like accepts her because Tracy's not
Hmm.
there. Um, and as the will is read, we find Alexis comes to read it. We find out Ned got vinyls, Olivia got cookware. I was like, okay. Uh, I have my list. Brooklyn got a pearl necklace. Tracy
Hmm.
got pickle Lila. Jason got a watch that was Alan's. Great kids or great grandkids and great grands all like there were some listed and named, and any other kind of stragglers who show up all get trust funds. Michael gets like the boat and other things like that, and Ronnie gets the house. And chaos ensues. Hanya,
Chaos
how did you feel?
ensues. I wasn't surprised because people kept
Same.
posting spoiler
Oh,
videos and
okay.
just posting about it. I guess the Canadians didn't respect that America was not watching. Um,
Okay.
and so, but I wasn't surprised at the outcome, but I did enjoy watching the scenes. I enjoyed the fact that while, you know, Tracy was dead set against this woman automatically, the rest of the family, though skeptical at first, were open to accepting her and just,
Hmm.
being nice and gracious. Of
Hmm.
course, everyone was shocked that she got the house, but they were like, okay, well, whatever. Because I don't think anyone really was thinking that they were going to get it. They all thought Michael
Michael.
was going to get
Yeah.
it, and then
Yeah.
Michael was like, okay, because like everyone said, Michael got enough money. He's not tripping. One thing I was surprised at though was there was no conversation had with Ronnie about whether or not all of them can stay there.
Right.
So, because I mean, Tracy even went up to Michael and was like, "Hey, can I still stay in the house?" And
Hmm.
he was just like, "Well, yeah." But none of them seemed to think that they would have to leave. And I guess Ronnie didn't give off the impression that she would just all of a sudden start kicking folks out. But at the same time, they were just, we're like, well, that's what's Monica's will. That's what's Monica's will. And only Tracy questioned it. Whereas in my mind, I was like, who is this outside lawyer that,
Right.
that's all of a sudden, over Monica's will? Nobody seemed to ask that question, not even Tracy, but she said she's going to contest it. So maybe she will down the line. But I thought it was a good scene. I loved how, um, Jason had an initial question like, what made you, Monica, fall out? And, she told the story, and then he was like, okay, well, welcome to the family. I guess he really, after the, I mean, what you didn't really mention was that, which we'll talk about later, is that since, she's definitely capable of reading documents and pointing out mistakes and saving them a headache. I guess that made her more acceptable to Jason. But everybody else was still willing to defend her, especially Michael. Michael's like, as far as I'm concerned, the case is closed. You're the owner of the house, and that's that. And so everybody else just followed Michael's lead except for Tracy. But I still thought it was a great, Quartermain scene. Um, Still able to continue to talk about Monica, even though she's now in the real upstairs. But she's not, but she's still
Like,
a big, she's still a big part of the conversations and decision making and, part of the house. So
yeah. I don't think this is the real Will.
no, I don't either. I
I
honestly think that Martin did something. And so
yeah.
we're just waiting
That's
to
what
see.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. One, I think that like it was obvious that it was going to be Ronnie getting the house. So they like we're doing the
Yeah,
foreshadowing of course it's Michael. Well, obviously we know how shows go. Like,
right.
we know we gotta have a little bit of drama. So I was not surprised at all that it went to Ronnie. I was like, of course. Um, I think so. Drew didn't get anything,
Yeah,
and Martin is the one who told him. And I kind of was like, well, how would Martin know? um like I know that he wasn't like whatever like acknowledged, or he didn't get any whatever,
yeah,
but how would Martin know for sure that Drew had nothing in the will? Drew was like talking about an inheritance that was so bizarre to me. Like even Jason didn't get an inheritance. Jason got a watch. Like
yeah,
the kids got inheritance. Michael got inheritance. You are Alan's like bastard son who I didn't even grow up knowing. I don't even
right.
have the cute little gatehouse story with you. I don't really like,
Yeah,
and you've done everything to like actually screw over my actual grandson. So why would you think you were going to get something? And so he does all of this. And part of what makes Drew so interesting to me is that he does not, and Martin didn't mention Scout got something. So Drew would have had to know that Scout was getting something. Monica has never not made Scout feel special. She has
right.
never made Scout feel like she was not one of her great grands. And so Drew like overlooking that and being so selfish when it comes to Scout is like a sticking point for me. I'm like, this is bizarre. Um, so it's that, and then I will also say I feel like Jason kind of accepted it, but I stuck a pin in that Jason point because he was kind of looking like, I don't know about all this. And I think if Michael would have like, contested or whatever,
Hmm.
Jason would have stood by him while he did it. But Jason's
Right,
also like, whatever.
right.
And then I think to your last point, the other reason that I don't think it's real is because I don't think there's a world in which Monica wouldn't have made some sort of concessions to make sure that the family could stay there. Like
Hmm.
this is Alan's house, or Monica's house. Alan gave it to her, whatever. But it also is like where her family stays. The whole
Hmm.
city lives at this mansion, and you didn't make any like Ronnie would be well within her right to kick everyone out, and you didn't
Hmm.
say don't do that.
Yeah,
That to me does not sound like Monica.
yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the pickle Lila thing doesn't sound like Monica either. I mean, it does in some ways of being like funny, but that sounds like Martin trying to stick it to her because we've watched Tracy basically like grieve
Mhm.
Monica so heavy. They got so close at the end,
Mhm.
and like Tracy was literally about to went to jail to keep the grandkids with Monica. It don't feel right to me that she would do something cruel to Tracy in the will.
Mm. And then not really leave her anything else. Like maybe if she did, she's like, "Oh, I'm giving you all of my fur coats and a jar of pickle water," or something like
Right,
that. But
right.
yeah, but she wouldn't have left her with nothing. That's definitely not Monica. So
Yeah.
I feel like Martin's hands are all over this. And so hopefully we find out soon. And we probably will because, um, Erica Slezak's run is very limited. I mean,
Yeah.
almost like she was there for like a week.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate I
Yeah.
did you read the soap opera digest article that she did?
I read something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Yeah,
So,
well, she did one that came
yeah.
out last week, and one of the things I appreciated
Mhm.
was her being like, when Frank asked her, she straight up was like, "I'm not gonna be replacing Leslie." So she was
Oh,
like, and he was
yeah.
like, "No, no, no, I wasn't," but she was very clear, like, Leslie is Monica, Leslie is the legacy. I am here to kind of close out a story for her.
Mhm.
I do wonder if like there is some shady stuff that happens with Martin. Like, how is he gonna explain that to Laura? Like Martin lives at Laura's house, and he essentially has now
Right.
resumed his role as like Drew henchman,
Yeah. I wonder how she feels about him going back. We
right?
haven't had any scenes between them two for a while, so um,
Right.
yeah, maybe they're just kind of
Yeah.
like fly by night roommates and they don't really see each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like just the delulu of like Drew and Martin together. Like, so right before the will reading, Martin went to Tracy to be like, "You pushed Drew out of the funeral, and so therefore we're gonna sue you for harm." And Tracy like laughed in his face. And he went back and
Right.
told Drew, and Drew was like, "She wasn't apologetic at all." Do you know Tracy? Of
No,
course she wasn't apologetic. What are you talking about? You asking that
no.
Tracy Quartermain was apologetic for doing something to you?
See,
Boy, get to my
if she
right.
would, if she would have the tendency to feel regret, she wouldn't have done it at all. Nobody regretted any of it. Nobody
No,
apologized. So,
no. People were happy to see you go.
right.
It's just like I said, the Lulu of this man. I need my inheritance. Your inheritance. First of all, even if you're not there at the will reading, is it does not work that if you're not there, you don't get it. Like that's not how wills work. So yeah, yuck, yikes. Um, so let's get into like let's keep talking about Drew and like talk about the who shot Drew and where we're going. So the DA, as Tara calls our horny DA, does a warrant. And initially when she first said the address, I was like, that's not the Quartermain address. And I thought I was going crazy. I was like,
You're
this is a
better than
very
me because I didn't pick up on it until it was pointed out by her. I was like, okay.
I
But
think
then
it
when
was
she did
like
it, but then when Ronnie pointed out and said 65, and I was like, yes, that was definitely a DA era. And I watched
hmm
it over again, and she was looking at Sunny, so she was definitely distracted. But I did not know everybody's addresses by heart, so good for
I definitely was like,
like
I was like,
about their
no, that's
address.
not right. But I feel like that's like an Easter egg for like people who have watched for a long time. Do you think it was because she was distracted by Sunny, or do you think she did it on purpose?
Ooh, that's a good question. But definitely, I think she's definitely
The
intrigued
newest
by
Brenda bot?
Sunny. Yeah, the newest Brenda bot. Now, whether or not she did it on purpose, because I don't see why she did it on purpose. I don't see how does that help her at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe she
Yeah.
like feels bad because like she knows that Drew is a terrible person and doesn't want Michael to be like charged with it.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. But
But anyway, so they bring this warrant over. I loved when Chase knocks on the door and Michael was like, you don't have to knock, you live here. I need us to like have some real conversations about the conflict of interest in this
yeah.
office. What is happening? No way Chase should have been allowed to search his own house.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, Chase shouldn't be involved in it. Dante shouldn't be involved in it. Just so many
No,
conflicts of interest in this case. It's crazy.
a mess. But they go serve the warrant. Everybody finds about Ronnie. Anna is like basically wanting to see like the will. I'm like, Anna, do you know how to read? Okay, so like
Like
Ron,
she's able to, like she's able to look at a will and be like, "Yep, this looks legit."
what are
Is
we
that
talking
you get
about?
when you become a cop or a commissioner, you get a class on will reading.
It's just like the way these police have been acting. Like everybody's supposed to just like be quick and out of their way. No.
Mhm,
So Ronnie obviously catches the address kerfuffle on the warrant, and is like, y'all gotta bounce.
mhm.
Chase essentially is like trying to push it. I'm like, Chase
Right.
is so thirsty to prove that it was Michael over Willow. I'm sorry, Chase. You gotta go. You gotta get out the house. I'm over you until you make it up to me. I'm not messing with Harrison Chase. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be rude. You can't do this to Hot Michael. And I mean that I mean that from an audience standpoint. I love Chad Michael. I am not one of those people. I know people say talk whatever. I've always loved Chad Michael. He is not I didn't think he was ugly, but I didn't, he's not hot Michael. And I think that the way Chad played Michael and the writing that Chad got for Michael, which we'll talk a little bit about with Jocelyn, but the writing that Michael received made it hard to like root for him or care about him in a lot of ways in certain situations. And so when you put him and Chase up against each other, there was the kind of almost even split of like where you would fall, like Michael side, Chase side. I'm sorry, that's not the same way with Hot Michael. Chase, you look a mess when you go up against Hot Michael like this. What do you think? I don't know. Am I misjudging this?
No, I mean, he's definitely in the wrong. He's definitely just over eager to prove Willow innocent. I don't see it as a competition in the same way you do between Hot Michael and Chase. I just was like, you're I definitely feel he's being inappropriate. And one, pushing a warrant that's technically illegal. Sir, sit down. Like, what are you doing? And and then still just being heavily and then I'm just maybe I don't remember, or maybe I didn't finish watching it because sometimes when I'm watching DH, I'm not fully watching it. I'm doing something else. But I
Hmm.
did recall a conversation between Anna and him saying that he should not be involved in this case. And yet here he is serving a
Front and
warrant at
center.
his own house. So I guess that conversation meant nothing.
Hmm.
But yeah, sorry. It's not that
No,
deep.
please
It's
don't apologize. Yeah, no, it is. It
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I think that for me, I want to say this. Like, I want to say that I am still enjoying GH. I think this is the
Yeah.
best GH has been in years. But what I am seeing is like little cracks coming through in
Mhm.
ways that it's like, okay, y'all are backsliding.
Oh.
And having Chase like serve the warrant at his house and kind of like, so when they have to leave and he goes back, he's like, I could have stayed. You could have stayed and did what?
Right.
And that nobody is mad that Chase is like a part of this. Nobody is like, you need to recuse yourself. So Chase is like not recused himself at very important moments. He arrested Tracy. He is never like, actually, I'm not gonna do this. You need to bring
Yeah.
another officer because I'm not gonna like do this against my family. You are essentially now Chase Quartermain. and you are not behaving like Chase Quartermain. I'm not saying that you have to like lie for them, but I am saying that there is like essentially no loyalty to this family that you've married into in favor of you having all of this loyalty to Willow. And the show is like really losing a little bit, not a lot. Again, I'm still enjoying the show. It's losing a little bit of like the character driven plot lines in favor of having like plot driven plot lines. He's like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna hear all about it. When you go home, your wife should have an attitude with you, actually.
Yeah, I was about to mention that too, because I was like, if it was me, I'd be more concerned as Brooklyn than the rest of the family. I mean, she
Hmm.
has said yes, she will stand behind him in his decision on whether or not to talk to Willow. But at the same time, I'd be a little concerned that he's up here doing everything, doing the most in order to
Hmm.
protect Willow. That would
Yeah,
concern me a little bit. So,
yeah, yeah. 100%. It's not giving. I'm not a fan of it. And Chase, no. Um, it's the disloyalty for me, and I'm not a fan
right.
of it. Um, so anyway, they finally do go back to like they were mad because Anna's mad at the DA. Everybody's upset about this, and they know that the Quartermains now have like a head start. They do kind of let Ronnie know what happened and why, what she stepped into. um, and Olivia's getting a pizza oven apparently, and
Finally.
finally, apparently. And then Michael leaves and Jason leaves. Like
We're
very
like, all
Michael and
right,
Jason
well,
behavior. We out of
see
here.
y'all later.
Y'all say it. And when they finally do get to search, the gun is not there. What did you think when you found out? Like, did you think that Michael grabbed it? Like, what did you think?
Oh, well, they certainly making it look like Michael did
Hmm.
it. Like he leaves and then goes to Elizabeth's house. Um, but I'm of the theory that Michael didn't do it and he's somewhat covering for Willow. I don't know. I think Willow did it. And I think
No, it looked like our boy about to frame Willow.
or I don't know. I don't want to think Michael's that devious.
Oh, I
And
love thinking
so
Michael's that devious.
I'd rather him just be the smart, um, but um not necessarily evil. It's just revengeful. So yeah, I don't know. I still think Willow did it, and I think that she left the house and she left the gun at Elizabeth's house and is about to be caught. But it's probably that's too easy of a solution, probably.
Yeah,
Probably
no, I think
something
Mike.
way more complicated.
I think I still think that it probably was Willow
Mhm.
that did it, but I do think she was trying to sneak the gun back to the Quartermains, and Michael caught it and then took it back to her. That's what I think happened. Um,
That would be funny.
but Michael did go to her because Willow finds out that um, she thought she was going to have this hearing in November, but now it's not
Mhm.
going to be until next year where she can't see the kids. And so Michael goes to her essentially with this offer that she can see the kids, supervise 1 hour a week with a therapist. Um, and she was like mad about it at first. And I, I just, I'm like, girl, he didn't have to let you do anything.
Right. Exactly. So
But
take that one
yeah.
hour, take that 1 hour, enjoy it, be on your best behavior.
Hmm.
I would have asked Michael, hey, can we get a court appointed attorney rather than so I can ensure that you're not hiring someone to sabotage me
Right,
if I
right. Or
was
a
Willow
witness.
or
Yeah.
witness. But she's going with the flow, so that's on her. If you're gonna question him, but you need to follow through and make sure.
Right.
No, so don't just be like, all right, I'll do whatever you say.
Yeah, I definitely would have been like, okay, so you know Elizabeth, like, can she come and be a witness, like a
Right.
non-partial, whatever,
Yeah.
to like this? Absolutely, like being able to protect yourself. Um, I it was just weird. She's like, I hadn't heard you call them our kids. I don't know. I just feel like because we know that Willow would have not let Michael see those kids and it would have been on some petty stuff, and Michael is like actually on some like mental health of his children,
Hmm.
it's tough to be on her side.
Hmm.
But I do like that she finally told Drew, nah, like I'm gonna do this. Like you're not gonna make me stop. I'm gonna see my kids.
Hmm.
But she also still knows, and part of the reason I don't feel bad if Michael's framing her is that she knows that Drew is gonna frame Michael, and it's like
Oh
okay with
yeah.
it. It has been okay. She was okay with Drew making it look like Michael was taking drugs. She was okay with
Hmm.
it looking like Drew was gonna frame Michael for being shot, and then you're gonna move back into his house if it was not Willow, you don't know who shot him, and you know that Drew is setting somebody up.
Hmm.
So I just have no sympathy for her. I don't find her to be. I find her to be interesting. I do still like Dark Willow as like a having a place on the show, but I have no sympathy for her.
Right.
We also have Carly going to talk to Elizabeth because she is realizing, okay, I told Anna that I threatened to kill Drew. Anna does not believe my alibi, and she has not come back to talk to me. So what is it that she is after? They also had this
Hmm.
conversation last week where Anna called Carly in. She got this information. Sunny called that probably was about Michael or like about information from Michael rather about Carly. So anyway, um, we have her going to see Elizabeth. What did you feel about like the Carly Elizabeth conversation?
Oh, a good conversation. Uh, it kind of brought back a little bit of, history, especially when Elizabeth was like, you know, be knowing that that all of this is on you, on your fault. You have no one else to blame is something
Mm,
that she should understand. Both her and Carly should understand. They both made some mistakes and they both acknowledge that. I think, there's no I don't know that there seemed to be a point where they were getting along or somewhat friendly with one another, and they still are in a sense, I think. But there's also still no love lost between them. So I don't know. It was a good conversation in that end. Good scenes for them together. But yeah, it wasn't like a monumental thing for me. It was more of a, oh yeah, Elizabeth knows what's going on. Let me ask her. So yeah.
hmm yeah, the Carly Elizabeth relationship is interesting. I think that after, and this is what makes the relationship that Britt and Carly have so interesting because when we find out that Elizabeth never really gave Jake's, what was it, kidney, liver, whatever, to Jocelyn because it was Nell and because Jake's alive. That never changed how Carly felt about Elizabeth and kind of the sacrifice that she made while Jocelyn needed it.
Mhm.
So it's interesting to me that it does change this like sacrifice from Britt to Jocelyn that like Carly still can't find any like softness towards Britt. So that softness towards Elizabeth comes from that. It also comes from the relationship between Jocelyn and Cameron.
Mhm.
And that's also why I'm a little annoyed with Elizabeth acting as if Carly has no right or that Carly should have some empathy for Willow. Because Elizabeth helped lock Esme in a tower on behalf of what Esme did to Cameron. And so to have Elizabeth go that far for her kid and not understand why Carly has nothing but smoke for Willow, when Willow has done everything to like put her children in like psychological harm's way is wild to me.
Well, I don't know if she doesn't think Carly has a right to be fighting because she did say you have, you have issues with Willow and you have a right to them, but you also should remember, what it's like to be in Willow's position. Now,
Hmm.
I agree. I don't like that Elizabeth is taking up for Willow because Willow is clearly wrong. I just think she still has this Elizabeth still has this feeling that she should, protect Willow and she's coming from a place where she like Elizabeth has always felt like she can give, hypocritical or condescending advice to people all the time. She's always had that attitude, even though she's not perfect herself. So I've never had like 100% love for Elizabeth because I always felt like she was a hypocrite the most of the time, especially when she's judgmental against other people. But I do remember her saying to Carly, I understand why you don't like Willow right now. But yeah, I just that's her. That's what she does. She judges other people, and it's annoying as hell. Oh.
Yeah, I think it was more like her trying to pretend like Carly should have this as his empathy. And I'm just like, Elizabeth, you would do any and everything for your son. And if somebody did to
Yeah,
your son any of this that Willow has done to Carly's son, you would
right.
be like, I get it.
Exactly. I mean, she's always had that kind of smoke for Carly, like always judging Carly and her behavior. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, she said she like the fact that she's willing to go ahead and tell the police that Carly said, "I'll kill you." Now, if anybody else had said, "I'll kill you" to Drew, she would have been like, "Oh, it's no big deal." But I'm going to tell the police that Carly said it because she's just petty and stupid like that. I'm like, why are you doing that? So yeah.
Yeah, it's tough with a character like Elizabeth because, people ship her across the board, and Becky has great chemistry with so many people. I understand why
Yeah.
people ship her on chemistry alone. But the problem is that the show, they don't write the show in order to like give her a good story. Because anytime she's like
Mm.
central to story, she's extra trifling. She's like sleeping with Nicholas, or she's like holding Drusen hostage. You know what I mean?
Hostage,
Like,
yeah.
she's like telling Sam to get over what Franco did to her. Like they don't write. It's just like anytime they give her story, they take it too far into trifling, or she's like not trifling at all, and so like it's like angel or demon in storylines with
Mm.
her. They haven't figured out how to balance out like giving her a decent story,
Right.
so
Mm.
which also hurts her in like having a decent love interest. So anyway, um what do I have next? um yeah, so uh that is it. We're going to talk about Black Hospital, and their role in the Who Shot Drew. But Drew is also trying to go home, talking to Willow about like bringing Scout with him. And she basically, Willow was kind of like, yeah, me and Scout could stay at Elizabeth's house until you like, what are you talking about, Willow? Why? What are you? Why would Scout stay with you while Drew is
Right.
trying to? Girl, what?
At the very least, be like, yeah, I'll send Scout over, but I'm not ready to move in yet. She should have been on. Or
Yeah.
maybe she doesn't trust Drew with Scout.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It was just
Uh,
weird.
it is
Um,
weird.
so Spy Hospital, all things Spy Hospital, Joss is home. It shocked me. Did you notice that Carly did not ask Joss about Jax?
Right. A lot of people said
Oh, I was offline. Okay. I'm glad I was the only person who noticed it. She was like, oh, you did this, like
somebody,
you said at the beach, but you weren't like, how's your dad doing?
right. He don't exist anymore.
I guess. Like, I guess. Um, but she has to like put on and pretend she sees Britt, has to be like, oh my God, Britt, girl, is that you? Are you
Oh my God,
alive?
are you alive? What's going on?
Um, I must say, I am not interested in this like Britt versus Carly over Jason thing. I can't think of one thing I hate more. And I hate Spy Hospital, but I think that I hate Joss or I hate Carly and Britt fighting over Jason more than I hate Spy Hospital.
I'm more irritated on Britt end than Carly's end
Oh, tell me
because
more.
I just think personally, I accept the fact that Jason and Carly are friends for life. And frankly, I think all of Port Charles should just accept it instead of fighting against it because it's a losing battle. And so every time that Britt mentions Carly's name, I get irritated. I'm just like, you bring her up for no reason. Like when she called Jason to come to her, see her, and Jason came, and she's like, oh, so I guess I'm on the Carly experience now. I'm like, what the hell? Shut up. Like, or like, they got into a fight and she was just like, well, you know what? Unless you can put me first instead of Carly, that I don't want to. I'm just like, girl, what does Jason have to do to prove to you that he cares about you? He will fly across the country to come and get you because he thinks you're alive. He will drop everything and come and see you when you call. What do you need to do?
He put his
I
life
am
on the
that's a,
line,
right.
knowing that he would have orphaned his kid for you.
I mean, and then why are you salty that he has a relationship with Carly? Of course he has a relationship with Carly. He's known her his entire life practically. You have only been in his life for what, a year or two? I'm just like, I'm irritated by it. So yeah, I agree with you. I do not enjoy it. I'm not like, I don't blame necessarily Carly for any, feelings she has about Britt because Britt,
I
what,
do.
lied about her death? Like, I don't care. I mean, Carly and Jason, to me, they can be best friends for life, and I accept it, and I think the whole world should. But at
I
this
agree
point,
with that. I definitely agree with
yeah.
that, but I think that Carly sounds ridiculous, and I love Carly. Y'all know, I love Carly down. That's my girl, and she sounds like a complete fucking idiot. I am over it. Like with her, like, oh, I don't want Jason paying the rent. You need to pay it, girl. It's Cash App.
That's
Who cares who
it's
pays it? As long as you
it's
get it.
petty. I
Like, who
like it though. It's
cares?
petty.
What are you talking about? It's none of your business. You are doing too much. Jason's a grown man. Stop. You got a whole boyfriend. Y'all are too old. And I feel two ways. One, I might have said this last week, I apologize if I say it again. The regression of Carly for Jason is too much. Carly, when Jason was like dead, was like strong, independent, doing things on her own. Drew was kind of there, but she was like scheming on her own. She was doing stuff on her own. The moment Jason got back, they completely regressed her. They said, "Oh, you remember that boss moment she had in the white dress? Actually, she was looking stupid because that's when the feds caught her up. Oh, this, and that. Oh, you remember when she said Jason, nobody can buy her back to Metro Court because she's gonna earn it. Never mind, Jason's gonna hand it back to her. Oh, you know how she's been doing everything herself. Minute Jason comes back, she crying like, "You gotta have a cell phone. What if I need you? What do you mean? What if you need him?" What do you mean what if you need him? You've been surviving 2.5 years without him, without calling him. You've been doing just fine. So why is it that all of a sudden you have regressed into this child because he's around? That bothers me about her. With Brit, I think that, the writers have misjudged what people wanted back for Brit. I don't think people wanted the bridge back. That's not people. We watched Brit mature.
Hmm.
We watched her grow. We watched her become this doctor, become respected, a person who has a birthday party that everybody comes to, and people didn't know she had Huntington's when that happened. We watched all that happen, and now we're seeing a petulant child. For her to be like, Jason, you can't help me, or acting funny about Jason giving her like the keys to this like place above Bobby's. So all of a sudden now you want to blackmail Jocelyn to get you a suite. No,
Oh
like
yeah, I was out of
this,
pocket.
I understand that maybe they don't understand where there is room for the Brit that she grew into on canvas. I get that. I'm not saying she needs to 100% be her, but there's not enough of a newer character, or like the character that she grew into. That's what people were excited to have back. And I know, I mean,
Mhm.
I told you when I was at the fan club weekend, she got one of the biggest applause. It was like her, Rory Gibson, and Mo. Those are the people who got like the biggest applause. She had the longest line. It's like her and Rory had the longest line. People liked that character. They liked who she turned into. I don't necessarily think that people like or wanted back the bridge, and they certainly don't want that character to be the person that's with Jason. Because for whatever
Mm-mm.
reason, this fandom loves it some Jason and holds him very close. How many there he has launched 1,000 Teen Wars, okay? People love them some Jason. Has he not?
I
Every
mean,
time
hey,
somebody is in contact with Jason, they fighting about him. So that like who they have brought Britt back to be is not like the person that people think, or that I believe that people think um should be with Jason.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I was definitely, annoyed with Britt, not only just with the Carly thing, but her, blackmailing Jocelyn. And what irritated me the most was picking a fight with Spinelli. And I was just like,
Yeah.
she's like, Spinelli speak is hard to understand. I understand every word that he said. He was very clear about why he had an issue or why he wanted to talk with Nathan. And she just was just like condescending toward him and being, acting like she was Sunny to Spinelli. And I was just like, no, you don't deserve that. You are not a person that deserves to talk to Spinelli any old kind of way. I didn't like it. So yeah, she annoyed me a lot this week.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean it was, and not in a fun, interesting, funny way, but in a way that was
no,
like petulant and childish. Just like you
yeah,
said, to the point of her being like, you gotta choose me or Carly. And now that being the way people are talking about it. Because Brennan
yeah,
also went to Jason with this, like, what's more important, Britt or Carly? What are we talking about? What
yeah.
are we like? And so anyway, now Brennan is trying to hold over Jason's head that if he tells Harley about Josh, that he will then bring Britt in for questioning, charges, whatever, based on what she did to five copies. He also kind of made that same threat to Britt.
I kind of feel like
Uh,
you said, in terms of Brennan, I feel like he's lost some of his mojo too, especially the way he
mhm.
came at Jason. I was like, Jason,
Just said, be a
like
man.
he said, be a man, don't be playing games. Yeah. And so, yeah, I didn't like that. I think they're trying to weaken him in some kind of way. And I like, with the other character, I felt like he was stronger and smarter and wouldn't make stupid mistakes. So,
Yeah, I just wasn't. Yeah. So now we also have Jocelyn doing this like performance where she tells Carly about about Vaughn. I was gonna call him Timu Dex, but I think that's a insult to both Dex and to Timu. Um, but telling Vaughn that Vaughn was like working for the WSB, and like, oh my God, I didn't know. And so Carly pops off on Brennan. And I was like, finally, we get some life in Carly. This is at least a preview of what will happen when Carly finds out the whole truth. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I was happy about it. How did you feel?
Mhm.
I mean, I hated
Oh
the
yeah.
aftermath and her like crying on him afterwards and getting back with him. But I do love the preview of, sorry, I'm like looking for something. I do love the preview
Yeah,
of her being like, I'm about to pop off.
exactly. And it just shows his desperation too. Like he's really desperate to keep this secret from Carly. And it just shows that yes, it's going to come out. Because I mean, everything he's doing, he's going to make a mistake. And she's
Hmm.
going to find out, and it's just going to be that much worse for him,
Hmm.
which is silly for someone to be so high up in WSB to make these silly decisions to
Right,
protect a relationship.
right.
So,
Well, I do wonder if this is a long and winding road back to Carson, because right now the only person that's not lying to Carly is Sunny.
mhm.
Michael is lying to Carly on some respects. Jocelyn is lying to Carly. Jason is lying to Carly, and Brennan is lying to Carly. So I do wonder if we're on this like long and winding journey back to Carly being the only person who didn't lie to me right now is my ex-husband.
Yep.
Um, I also appreciate that Alexis was like the connector of the Sunny Corinthos Baby Mama Extended Network because she was like, so she left the queues when she found out about the warrant. Paul, Sunny, and Carly up. They got together. She was like, "You need to figure it out." She also was in cahoots with Ava. And her and Olivia have been sharing Ned. Not been sharing, but have shared Ned. So Alexis, though it used to, I mean, obviously Carly is the favorite baby mama. I think Alexis is the runner-up. Alexis is the connector of the baby mama extended network.
Oh my
So
goodness.
at least Alexis is also being truthful to Carly. Um, then what else do we have about this? Oh, okay. What the heck is going on with Nathan? Please give me I want to hear what you think is going on with Nathan.
I still think Nathan is Nathan. Because there was nothing, I mean, people have all these theories that Nathan isn't really Nathan, that he's Cesar Faison and all this other
Hmm.
stuff. He's still, except for this wild look that he had with Brett when Brett first came onto the scene, he still hasn't really given off anything nefarious yet. And so I'm just, waiting. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to take it. I think there's something going down. I don't know what it is, but I'm still not at the point where that's Peter August or so
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. So far I'm enjoying it. I'm really curious. The only thing that was slightly off was that he was like, "Oh, can this, the conversation that he and Britt has, can it wait till I leave the hospital or till they go somewhere else?" Like he wanted to be somewhere private in order to talk with her. That was interesting to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm curious of what that conversation's going to be. She's still acting strange to him with him. So I don't know. We gotta see. I'm still in the curious
Yeah.
stage, and I don't want to, speculate too much yet. I'm just trying to see and wait and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, so partially for me is if they don't show Nathan enough. So like if not,
Yeah,
they don't show him enough for us to be invested in the story. He's there a couple times a week. And so it's like easily could not be there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not really
yeah.
integrated well enough into the other stories yet for it to be interesting. Um, So maybe when he gets out of the hospital, we'll see a little bit more of that. But we actually do need to see him more. There
Mm-hmm.
needs to be stakes to him being there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I he's a little too subdued for me. He finally, I mean, when him and Spinelli talked, he finally said something about Maxie, and he was like, does he still love her? Well, he thinks he just went to sleep and woke up. He would still be like very much married to her, very much with a pregnant wife. So of course he still loves her. So, Spilly and Nathan said, we don't need a third to get this love triangle going. We're just gonna go right now. Um, like we just got two sides of it. The other side is like in an out of state coma. No worries, we can hold it. Um,
Yes.
like he just has been, like hasn't had enough questions about, okay, so because him and Britt were close enough for him to be like, okay, so you faked your death. Okay, so like, did anybody tell him about Weasley, Faison? Like, do he know that Maxie had a baby with Peter August? Like, it's just like
Ooh.
there it feels like they are purposely holding some of those things so that we don't see more of a reaction. So that's like the one piece. I do like how Spinelli is very protective of James. I like that Spinelli ran up on Britt and was like, look, I can believe him. It's you.
Right.
Like, what's
Exactly.
up with you? And when Britt called Jason about it, Jason, you brought this up, but I liked the scene, the part where Britt was like, "Would you have asked Carly?" And Jason was like, "I wouldn't have had to ask Carly. She would have just told me."
Mm, yep.
That therein is the difference between y'all. That
Yep.
Carly, you're asking somebody to put you first when they can't even trust you. First of all, what do you mean first? You got a son. That's first. Like you got
Except
mad that
when
he
he
went
made except when he made that random comment
right. But
about
even like this idea that helping or saving Jocelyn is like an extension of like his commitment to Carly as if Jocelyn's like his goddaughter.
yeah.
It, you're not even being honest. He doesn't even know what he's getting himself into, and it could be dangerous to his kids. So you're asking him to put you first without knowing the full story. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ugh.
Mm-mm. Um, that's all I got for Spy Hospital. Oh, and then, Jocelyn and Vaughn kiss again
I still don't. I'm not invested in that relationship at all.
at all. He he looks too old for her, if I'm just
Mm,
being like real honest. And I think they're making the mistake with Jocelyn that they always made with Michael, which is that they are keeping her away from her friend group.
mhm,
The reason that like it was nice to have Jocelyn and Cameron and Trina, and when Spencer came back, like that was always, even when they were kids, that's always been like a group of kids coming up together, and Jocelyn was a part of that. The WSB stuff like keeps her completely away from it. She came in town. We haven't seen her with Trina. We had like Trina is one of Jocelyn's. No, Trina is Jocelyn's most important relationship to me on screen. Like maybe like behind Carly, but we haven't seen her with Trina. We haven't seen her be with her peer group. They're having whole peer group scenes, and she's nowhere to be found and not even discussed. It feels to me like a mistake to like have her
mhm.
dig deeper into like a storyline that is away from like the people who ground her the most. So, oh, this is step back. I have this. Brit has not once asked about Spencer.
Right. And he disappeared after she
Yes. I
died. Yeah.
remember when Spencer like found
Yeah.
out Sonny was the one who told him about it. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was the same day Esme showed up, like all of that. So that was the night of her party. So her being like, "Oh yeah, I want to reconnect with Ben, aka Rocco," but like not having any reaction. This is like again, I'm very much enjoying the show. I want to say that, but these are the little pieces that are getting lost. That I'm like, oh, y'all are kind
Mm,
of backsliding into some of the stuff that made it not great. Like you're not making character driven decisions. You're not having human moments. That's a human moment that Britt could have that would like offset all the ridiculousness that she's been on. We've had none of
mhm.
that from her.
Yeah, and as far as she wasn't back so she was gone when Nicholas came back. Like she hasn't asked about any of it.
No.
Like no, she hasn't said, oh, so I heard that Nicholas is actually back and he's in jail now. Like, what's up with that? She hasn't gotten caught up on anything, and she hasn't
Hmm.
asked about anything.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, Nicholas
it's
wasn't
there.
gone when Britt died. Nicholas was there. Yeah, Nicholas was there.
Okay.
Hmm. So
I need to
yeah,
rewatch all those
but she's
scenes.
not asking, oh, he's in jail. That's crazy. Oh, like there's just like no catching up of that. And so it's
Hmm.
also weird that Nathan has no response or reaction to Britt having been fake dead and like asking how that connected to him being fake dead. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
He
that's
only
it's
he
just
only
bizarre.
made yeah, he just made one comment. He's like, yeah, it's only natural that I get back to my life in the same way you did. That's
Yeah.
that was it. And
Yeah.
so it's almost like he knew that she was alive and that,
Hmm.
and she was in Port Charles trying to get back her life. So that's a clue that something is off
Hmm.
and we need to find out what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Hospital. We
Mm,
have mm, there is a showdown in the hall between Portia's potential baby daddies. I said, Portia, your baby daddies are fighting in the hallway of your job. This is ghetto, and I love it.
it
So
was.
absolutely, this is
Poor Curtis was like, why is this dude trying to step to his I don't understand what's going on.
Curtis and Dr. Gannon.
Get it? Like,
I was so tickled. Portia almost passes out and is like, I'll take a coconut water. Oh no, baby girl, you will not
that's
take a
not
coconut
enough.
water. It's
That
not
is not
enough.
enough. I haven't eaten anything. Just bring me a coconut.
You're drinking coconut water for two now, Portia.
Ah,
Portia being pregnant has tickled me. It has tickled me. It's ridiculous, and I love it. Her having flashbacks to what both of her potential baby daddies, hilarious. Her and Drew, or her and Curtis running up on Drew and
that was
realizing that he
awesome.
has no
Mhm.
leverage.
No, I
Uh,
love that whole
yeah.
scene, actually. I loved
Hmm.
it. Coming up on Willow being like, you need to get back to work.
You?
You.
And Drew be like, you need to apologize to Willow.
I'm like, for what?
What you say?
Her getting her
Uh,
telling her to go to do her job? You forgot I'm the chief of staff here, sir. I
Portia
loved
said, I'm
it.
making big boss moves and tell your little girlfriend. No.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved him finding out. And then him being like, dang, so maybe one of them shot me, but I'm gonna still play my
Just the temerity and what just it was crazy. He's a nut. And
Yes.
what I loved was for him to try to roll up on Jordan with some blackmail bullshit. She was like, so you're trying to blackmail me to ask to Anna to prosecute Michael, knowing full well that he didn't do it? She's like,
A
hell no. Nah.
mess.
I loved it.
A mess. So funny. Jordan, and oh, also Jordan's new hair. I said, okay, Bobbiana, you better. I loved it. Even though I've been annoyed with Jordan lately, she always looks amazing. Shout out to Tanisha,
Yeah.
always beautiful. Um, but yeah, so Portia gets this pregnancy test. She finds out she's 7 weeks, which like surprised me because I was like, okay, so if you're that far along, I was like, had she been sleeping with Isaiah that long? But she said it
She
could be
had
either.
girl, they
Who
are
knows what
acting
happens?
like this relationship with her and Isaiah are like that. Because remember, first time they slept together once in her room, and then all of a sudden she's sneaking into his bed like she has the key and everything. I was like, when did this happen? So apparently, a lot of stuff is happening off screen that we just don't know about. Like they've been going on dates, they've exchanged keys. Like we don't know.
Maybe it was just like a key. I don't know what happened. But yeah, it was. We also are hearing that Isaiah has that cabin finished. So we know that that must be something. It's going to be something that happens at that cabin.
We all
Um,
thought Drew was going to be killed at that cabin,
I
but I
sure
guess
did, but I guess not. Um,
right.
I guess
It
not.
still it still can, like Brick said, it still can happen.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Black Hospital, they tripping. Kurt, yeah, when Isaiah ran up on Curtis, I said, "What?" Okay,
It's
and
like,
forgive me. I don't mean to be insensitive. I just want to say. So I don't want this to come off insensitive. I mean this for the characters of this show. When Portia got that positive pregnancy test, I don't know what the problem is, girl. You know what to do. Don't have this baby. What are we talking about? Like, babies are blessings. I
they
also believe in a
are
woman's right to choose. Portia did some choices that should be easy to make. Like, is what I'm saying
right.
to you. Um,
Now is not the time.
it's a
And why is
mess,
she
Portia.
always somebody on social media pointed out she's always pregnant when she's cheating.
Always. Portia is like anytime she cheats, she want to get pregnant. Girl, what is going on? You've been with Curtis all this time, not cheating, and you ain't get pregnant. And all of a sudden,
Right.
mm-mm. So yeah, we'll see. So Portia goes to talk to Liz. I will say that Becky's reaction, she was us. Like when she was getting the tea, she was scandalized.
Ah, she was
Oh,
like, "You're pregnant, and
you don't know who
it
the
ain't
daddy
Curtis's."
is? Oh, gagged, only to then be gagged by the police coming and showing up to serve you a warrant, and then them finding a gun in your
In your
roommate's
house.
room. Mm.
So
Worst
I don't
roommate
know,
ever.
right? And why does that mean that she has to be the one to be to go down to the police station?
Well, I guess because they're her house.
But she's not a suspect.
I loved it. I loved it. A
Yeah.
mess.
Would
So
not.
then we have Sunny run up on Lulu to be like, what's this?
Right. Why you writing that? Now, the funny thing is they didn't really bring up the history, but they should have, because I think they should bring up the history that about Lulu persecuting
Yes,
Michael.
yes.
And yeah, because Sonny is still salty, and I don't blame him. I'd still be salty to this very day.
Hmm.
And Michael hasn't forgotten, because every time Michael talks to Willow and to Lulu, and he's like, "I ain't telling you nothing." Especially when she's like, "Is this on the record?"
It's just like this. For me, like I go back to like the Nathan piece of it all was him getting shot in the
Right.
first place, right?
Yeah.
Which also is strange to me that Will Lulu hasn't said anything about Nathan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, your best friend's husband is alive, and you ain't. This isn't newsworthy. That should have been the article you were writing.
Right. And like he got shot based on an article that y'all wrote together. And so, I remember Maxie being mad at her about that. And Nathan took part of
Mhm.
it, but and Lulu couldn't understand why she was mad. So it's like Lulu keeps doing these articles that just like put people at odds. And so this thing with Michael, she should have passed up on. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Where is the journalistic integrity? The journalistic integrity is not writing a story that feels like whatever about Michael. It's about passing on the story because it's your family. And you were gung ho about the fact that Carly should be like using her business to get your vendetta out against Obrick for what was going on with Rocco, but you don't think that you should have some sort of like loyalty for not writing and making it seem like her son committed a murder. Give somebody else the article. Your name should not be on it.
Right.
And if the question is, do I think she should be giving up articles for her family? Then yes, that is, especially for something like that. It's not something small. It's not something that's like, oh my God, this is like, what? This is murder or
Yeah.
attempted murder of a congressman. So no, she should never have written an article. Sorry.
Yeah, she should have passed up on it.
And again, the other reason that you should have passed up on it is like you should still harbor guilt over what you and Dante did to get him locked up before.
Hmm.
Because Dante
Yep.
Show told Anna, listen, I don't think it was my brother. And it could be Willow because she was messing with Daisy. Oh, you ain't know?
He sure did give up that little evidence. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she was sneaking around. She is perfectly capable of sneaking around the house because Michael thinks she did this.
Anna was like, why didn't I find out? And Dante basically was like, because we don't know how to solve no crimes, so why would he tell us?
Right.
Um, and then finally, I do want to end this portion on a high note. Gemma,
They're adorable. Look at you.
I
It's not
love
working for
them.
me.
I
It didn't,
think you have to
it
do
didn't,
this, maybe hold it for longer. I don't even know.
oh, there.
Oh, look, it's coming up.
It's not doing
Um,
it for me.
oh. Sorry for y'all who are listeners. I did like the little heart hands, and then hearts just flew. But that's because that's how I love Gemma so much. They're so cute. Um, they had their little misunderstanding. They both went to their grandparents, which made me laugh about like what to do about each other. And then they both was like, talk to them.
I
And they
loved it
kept,
when Anna was like, so the kiss was bad. So he
and she
didn't
was like,
like it.
no,
So you don't like
that kiss was amazing. Cuties. Oh, they're so cute. And I love it when the actors ship a ship as well. Just everything. I love that it didn't take too long, that it was like that. I love a misunderstanding trope that's also like wrapped right up.
right.
Um, I liked that Trina and Kai were there for it. Yeah, I just loved every piece. I love that Sunny was like in it.
Yeah.
The DA was like, so what? He was like, I'm like letting them talk. I loved it. I loved every part of it.
It's like they're having an
Um,
issue, and so I'm just letting them have an opportunity to talk because they're good together.
I love that, Sonny's grandson and Robin's daughter. Mhm, I love it. Yeah, they're very adorable together. I like that they seem to have learned the lesson. So like give us a little angst and do whatever, but like don't make it go too long. It's just been like
Right.
very well played, the kind of like friends to lovers piece of their story. And they're just like so rootable, so cute. Um, I will also say I kind of liked them being in proximity of Trina and Kai. I've not been a particular fan of Trina and Kai for lots of reasons, but one of my favorite things that happened was when Kai kind of got caught up and like talking about Drew to Gio, he needed to go. So he's like, Trina, you need to like fix your form. She was like, what? And he said to her, I wrote it down. He said, your form is perfect. And she was like, I know.
I
It
know.
was like it's that little exchange has been my favorite moment for them as a couple. It was
Yeah.
playful, it was funny, it was actually playing very much to both of their strengths. They are clearly more comfortable around each other since they've been working together. So, and I think, that Gemma magic rubbed off on them. So,
Mhm.
huge fan of that. Again, here's another plot point that I was like, why? It was like, okay, so Gio's moving in with Sunny. We're not concerned about whether it's not whether or not it's too dangerous, but that like he's doing that before he just moves in with the cues. Gio, please. Or like going to move above Kelly's. There's multiple rooms above Kelly's.
Mhm. And
Anyway,
Carly probably would let him stay there rent free.
absolutely will let him say they're rent free. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
So,
Um,
yeah.
but anyway, Gemma, I'm leave it positive. Like Gemma a lot. How do you feel about them?
No, they're cute. They're adorable. It
Yeah.
was a great, lighthearted thing to happen for the week. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I hope that they get like good, cute story before they have more angst. Because that's like their sweet spot. So
yeah.
we are Gemma fans over here. Do you have any hot takes?
See what I wrote down is a hot take. I was like on Tuesday, who is Howard Whitworth? Is it Martin?
Right.
And I wrote out of pocket behavior. Now, I know you love Joss down, okay?
I do.
But I just felt like the way Joss was talking to her mom was like when she said, "Mom, stop it, you're out of line." I was like, "Ooh, my mom would have smacked me talking to me
Oh,
like that."
absolutely.
I was like, And then Isaiah telling Curtis he's overstepping. I was like, "Sir." And then just Britt. I was like, those are out of pocket behaviors. Britt is just out of pocket. That's what I wrote. And then I
Hmm.
wrote, yeah. And then I wrote yes to Jordan, saying hell to no to Drew. I love that. That
Hell
look
to
on
a
his
no
face,
no.
well, the look on his face when she left, he was like, oh, is this what it look this what it feels like me not getting my way?
Right, right. Get him out of here.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I wrote.
Cool, cool. All right, let's do previews for next week. Monday, Sunny is on high alert. Kai and Trina play detective. Chase vents to Brooklyn. Drew presses Willow. Curtis and Portia discuss their future. Yeah. Tuesday, Nina is in the hot seat. Oh, I forgot. I guess I forgot to say that Nina has an alibi, but Willow does not. So that's also what led to Willow being investigated. That they have a
Mm,
video of Nina going to her apartment during the murder window. Um, Willow believes the worst of Michael. Rick dreams of Elizabeth. Sidwell throws his
mm.
power around.
Yay,
A-
Tidwell's back.
Ava and Christina try to turn the page. Wednesday, Tracy gets legal advice. Cody makes a shocking discovery. Molly confides in Dante. Gio makes an unlikely connection. Brennan demands answers.
Mm,
Thursday, Jason makes a confession. Anna comes to a startling realization. Felicia confides in Elizabeth. Charlotte receives a warning. Okay, finally, because they did like the Charlotte and Valentine stuff, and then we haven't seen them since. So
right.
great. Uh, Cody gets a pleasant surprise. Friday, Carly does some digging. Britt asks for a favor. Nathan questions Dante. Also, finally, that they haven't seen each other.
Right.
Um, Brooklyn is uneasy. Anna seeks out Brennan. Well, you know,
We'll
we shall see
see.
what happens. Thank you for joining us. As always, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, get in the conversation with us. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Sunday Shift. If you're on YouTube, hype us up, buy us a coffee, get some merch in the comments, and we appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Bye.